Okay, I think we're good. Greetings, good day, good evening. How's everyone doing? Welcome to this live broadcast. So, I am going live tonight. It's been a long while since I've gone live. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. How's everything going? Q&A. I've had quite a number of Q&As that I have been asked over almost 5 years, going strong with my Freeform Locs. They are in a head wrap today. We are coordinating colors today. The pink, is this fuchsia pink or is it fuchsia? And we're having green as well, earthy green. So yeah, we are coordinating colors today. So anyway, let me get straight into the Q&A. This might help to have most of the questions in one place. So one of the questions which I'll keep getting asked, and this is a question that I can never answer it in one go because it's always going to change. How long have you had your locks for? Obviously, it depends on when the question is being posed to me. I started my logs March, I think it was 13th of March 2020. That literally was, I think, the month that we had the lockdown start, when the pandemic started. So that's when I started my logs. So I'm guessing we are, if I calculate it exactly, that will be March 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, March of this year, 4 years, April, May, June, July, August, September. So that's 4 years and 6 months. Thank you so much for joining. I see one person in the house. Let me know. I think the chat section is open. Feel free to um, say hello. Let me know where you are joining in from so I can give you a shout out. So that's one of the most common questions I get asked. One of the other questions I got asked the other day actually wasn't a question. It was a comment that was made, and the comment was that why have I decided to dye the tips of my locks? Why do they look orange, kind of compared to the rest of my locks? And I laughed. I shared this in a group that I'm in on Facebook, and it made me laugh because the person who was saying it also has locks, but they just assumed that I added some dye or some coloring to it, and this person was suggesting that I dye it back to black. And so I said, dye, color my hair? I've never colored my hair. So one of the other questions I guess I get is, what color have I added to my locks? Curious question, whatever reason people ask that question for. And the answer is, I haven't dyed my locks at all. I've added nothing to it since I've been going. Since I started 4 years ago, I have not added any coloring to my hair. I'm even too afraid, if that's the right word, too afraid to do so. I have no desire to do it anyway. That's the first thing. There is no burning desire for me to add color to my hair. It's not something I really want to do at this stage. Um, but even if I did, I am too worried about the potential damage that can be caused to my locks, because even though I've got fine hair, my locks are also thick because I have a lot of, you know, double, triple heads, and I do have thickness to them. So I feel like putting in any color in there will just cause, it would require a lot. And what I understand is that you have to actually bleach the locks and then allow that to sit and then add the color in. I think that's way too much for something that I've allowed to just be. So the color that you see at the tip of my locks is as a result of the sun. My locks are just sun-kissed. They have been, the sun's gotten to them, and that's just how it has created this ombre look, or effect. So that is that. Also, another question I think I was asked in the early days, and this is quite a funny one because I remember that some of my earlier videos had um, uh, Freeform Loc uh, type 3C or type 3B or whatever. And to be honest, I don't even know why I added that into the title of my video, because it's not something that um, I don't totally understand the need for it. Like, I do understand. It's good to understand the texture that we have. But all I know about texture is that my texture is fine. I've got fine strands of hair. I know that for a fact. And I think I'm somewhere in a three. But funny enough, in the early days, I had someone make so many comments on my videos, and this person was really getting kind of peed off that I was calling or referring to my own hair on my head, as 3C or 3B. And this person seemed to be the oracle of information in terms of what my hair type is. And I kind of remember what that person called it. I don't know who the person is. And they just went on and on. I think they're just scouring the internet or YouTube to find people who are giving their hair the wrong, type or whatever. It was just something, it just went on and on. I was like, why is this person so invested in what number I decide to give my hair? It's my hair. So anyway, I'm grateful to whoever that person is, because in the end it just made me think, what difference does it make if I'm 2, 3, 4? My hair is my hair, and it is what it is, and I just accept it for what it is. So if you ask me what hair type I have, I won't be able to tell you, to be honest, and I've never gone back to check, and I don't think I will, unless it's important, but I don't see any reason why. So all I know is I have got really, really fine hair. Um, and the locks have, I don't, can I say it's disguised it in some way? In my eyes, in somebody else's eyes, maybe not. So it seems to have disguised it in a way because I've got freeform locks and having fine hair. Okay. The other question I get asked is, what oils do I use in my locks? I don't use any oils at all. At all, at all, at all. I don't use it. I don't have any anyway. The oil I use on my skin, I use it on my face, I use it on my body, but I don't use it in my hair at all. I like to use castor oil, pure castor oil. I also like to use moringa oil, which is also pure. I have it made by, I have both of them made by my herbal teacher. He cold presses it. I think he cold presses the oils from the seeds that he picks locally in his environment. I mean, we sometimes, well, I haven't been out with him. One of his other students, um, or some of the other students go out with him to harvest the seeds that are needed. He dries them in the sun, and then he cold presses them there and there. So nothing is added to them. You just see it when he's doing it, and that pretty much is it. So that's what I use, but I use that on my skin. So I don't have any oils that I add to my hair. However, I am a strong believer in the fact that if I feed my body with the right foods, it would find its way, the nutrients and all the goodness from the foods will find its way to all of the extremities of my body, which my hair is one of those. So not having used any oils for almost 5 years, I haven't seen any um, I haven't seen or noticed that it's caused any problems to me at all. It hasn't stunted my growth. It hasn't resulted in any breakages. I haven't lost any locks. I haven't had any locks fall off or break. Okay, so that's that question in terms of adding oils. And the same goes for other lotions, potions, cream, mousses, gels, butters, waxes. I don't use any of that. Okay. So the other question is, do I separate my locks? Every now and again, I will separate my locks. Yes, the answer is yes. Every now and again, I will separate the locks that cause me problems. So I tend to have a lock or two. Usually it's at the back of my head where they have tangled or they are trying to marry up and they join up in such a way. Hello, greetings, welcome to this live. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. It'll be good to know who is in the house. Thank you so much. I see a few people in the house. I see a thumbs up as well. Thank you so much. I can't see the comments. Let me see. Bear with me. Maybe it will pop up. Please do leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. So what was I saying? I was talking about gels, lotions, potions, things like that. I don't use them in my locks at all. I just keep it simple. Yeah. Another question I think I get asked is let's see, how frequently I wash my locks. I wash my locks as and when I feel there's a necessity. I think it's important or it's a good thing to have a routine or a regime or regimen, whichever the terminology you want to use. I think it's a good thing to have one, and that's dependent on our lifestyle. But for me, one of the reasons I can go for long periods without feeling that there's a need to wash it, because I tend to touch my locks to get an idea if it needs a wash, a shampoo. And also I look at the way they fall and they drop. That also tells me if it needs a wash. And then I also pass or rub the palms of my thumb or fingers um, through my scalp to feel for any natural oils or natural sebum that I may have sitting in my locks. And now they've grown longer, also I am able to smell my locks. I'm able to bring it closer to my face and smell it to see if there's any smells that are not pleasant, maybe smell of sweat or food, cooking, things like that. So I wash it when I feel the necessity to wash it. I don't have a, oh, I wash it once a week. I used to in the early days, but there's not a necessity for it. And I don't even know why I had a routine then. I think transitioning from having loose natural hair and having a routine spilled over or carried over into when I started my Freeform Locs. So I carried on doing that. But as time has gone on, I have found myself going for almost a month without washing my hair. And then sometimes I find myself going for a few weeks. So I will be washing my hair more than likely tomorrow or this weekend. Give me a second. Let me just get something and show it to you. Oh, I see your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, thank you, Laura. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I saw that. I saw that. Thank you. So, thank you so much, Laura. How are you? How are you doing? Huh? It's good to have you in the house. So, tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Saturday, I will be doing my second wash. Or I'll be doing another wash. It won't be my second. That's a lie. I will be doing a second, get my words right, I will be doing another wash, another shampoo using aloe leaf. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this all up either tonight and just leave it sitting there, and then I'm going to use it to wash my hair. So that's one of the other questions I get asked in terms of how frequently I wash my hair. Another question is, oh, there's a question I usually get a lot of. It's about herbal rinses, how often I do herbal rinses, and which are my favorite herbal herbs that I use for herbal rinses. So when I do a wash, a shampoo, my choice of shampoo when I'm not using aloe, because this is just the thing that I've been doing more frequently, and One of the things that I prefer using to shampoo my hair is liquefied black soap. I have the ability to gain access, or I have access to black soap, raw black soap, without any adulteration in it, like the the clumpy ones that I have to break off. So I break those off and then I liquefy it, which means I just melt it down in some water that I have boiled that is hot. I allow it to sit for a while, and then I'll use that in my locks and I'll wash it. And yes, it does strip the hair. It really just goes, it strips everything out. So this ties in with me not doing it on a regular basis. I couldn't do that every week. If I wash my locks every week, that won't be a good thing for my locks, because it really just, it cleanses and it just deep cleans. So I use the black soap, and then when I do use the black soap, after that I will do a herbal rinse to restore, yeah, so that it's not got that kind of squeaky, squeakiness to it. So to restore, because I want to take out all the impurities and then I want to restore. And because I don't use any conditioners, I don't deep condition, I don't do hot oil treatments, I don't do protein treatments, I don't do any of that. So those are the things I rely on. I rely on my black soap, I rely on my aloe, and I rely on my herbal rinses. So I do a herbal rinse immediately after I've done a shampoo. Okay. Tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, whichever day I decide to do the aloe wash, I won't be doing a herbal rinse, because I consider this to be a type of, herb, or it's a vegetable. What is it? What's an aloe? Is an aloe a fruit or vegetable? What is it? It's not a herb, right? It's not a spice. Okay. So I do that. In terms of the type of herbs I like to use, my favorite herbs, I use them fresh. I don't use anything that is processed. I use them fresh and loose, and usually wild, because I have access to be able to harvest them fresh. So my favorite will be rosemary, because it's very, very strong. Black tea, I can't harvest those. I don't have access to that. So I buy the black tea leaves. Sorry, green tea, I meant to say. I have used black tea before as well. If you get the raw leaves of black tea, but I use green tea, I meant to say. So rosemary, green tea, and sage. Those are my favorite. If I ever use hibiscus, one of the things I do want to say with the hibiscus is make it there and then and use it there and then. Yeah, and make sure your hair dries up after you've used it on the day. Okay. Another question I get asked is, do I always cover my hair when I go to bed? No, there's sometimes I forget. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I do. Some days I'm tired. Some days I can't be bothered. Some days I have wrapped my hair up like I've wrapped my hair up right now, and I'm too tired. I don't want anything around my head. I don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood, and I will leave uncovered. Is that a good idea? No, it's not a good idea, especially if you are sleeping on fabric that can easily give off lint. It's not a good idea. I think it's best to cover one's hair as much as possible, if not every time you sleep or lay down. It's good to cover it just to keep out the lint. I think also I'm quite fortunate in terms of when I don't cover my hair all the time, and I'm not attracting as much lint as I think I would have. And I think that's because I don't have products in my hair as well. So because all I'm doing is using the shampoo, I don't have as much product in my hair for my hair to grab as much lint. It still does have lint. My pillow has, I don't know what type of feather is in it. There's a type of feather, but I think some of the feather is finding its way out of the pillow. Maybe I need to change my pillow. But every now and again, one of my daughters will be like, Mom, there's a little bit of white feather in your hair, and they'll pull it out. The most that I will get in my locks will be thread from these, adding the shells. When I add shells, sorry, the cowrie shells on their own to my lock, when they fall out by themselves, sometimes the thread doesn't come out. So over time, from washing my hair with the black soap or whatever I used to wash my hair, eventually the thread that is left in my locks gets uh, becomes tinted somewhat, so it sticks out. So I'm able to see very well, and I'm able to pull those out just with the my nails or use a tweezer. They're always easy because it's just a piece of thread and it will come out easily. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions that I get asked. So covering my hair, what soap do I use? Oils, herbal rinses. Oh, there's another one. And this isn't a question that I have been asked, have I? I can't remember. You know that as your locks begin to grow, let me speak for myself. As my locks have grown over time, I've noticed that, and let me know in the comment section if you ever have had this happen to you and your locks, especially if you are freeform locking, you will find that you end up with small balls at the end of your locks. Just small little balls. And at first I used to think they were new locks forming, but it's not possible. Logically, it doesn't make any sense. The lock is already formed, the hair is already there. So there isn't anything new forming, except if the tips of your locks are very, very loose. And that tends to happen in the early days. But as mine have matured more, I find that there's times where I don't know if it's because the tips of my hair is the oldest part. I tend to get just little tiny balls there where the hair doesn't feel as strong as, and it seems to me that at some point, which it does happen at some point, those bits will just fall out, or you know, they just become like stringy, like they've got a little, they're just being held on by small strings. So what I did last month, was it last month? I think so. I sat down and I had a few of them at the end, and I literally just pulled them off because they were so easy as well to pull, like they were waiting for me to pull them out. It isn't like having this and trying to pull this won't come out. This is like, these are all solid, but those pieces I'm talking about, they're not very solid. They're just like stringy bits that don't serve any purpose. I pull those ones out. um you know, let me see what else is there. I think I pretty much have answered the majority of the questions that I get asked. Another one that I wanted to share with you was, what's important to me, length or health? Both are important. But if I had to choose one over the other, I'm certainly going to say health. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I don't like length. Yeah, I'm a woman and we like length. I like length. Maybe somebody else doesn't, but I like having long locks. I can't wait to see them get longer and longer, and they are already long. And before I wrap up this video, I will unwrap my my headscarf so you can see. But for me, both are very important. The length and the health are very, very important. But I would lean more towards the health, because I think with health will come length. But without health, there can't be any length. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Although, yeah, I think that makes sense. That's how I can make sense of it. I don't think that I will have lengthy locks without having healthy locks, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you have any more questions for me, which I haven't answered, please feel free to leave them in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to um, answer them. I'm just thinking if there's anything that is pertinent that you may want to know that someone else has asked me somewhere along the line, because the questions are scattered in so many of the different videos and shorts that I've done over time. And so I'm just going over them in my head, the ones that I can remember. Yeah. So, do I go to the salon to get my locks looked after? Every now and again, yes. I may go to the salon maybe once a year. Yeah, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. It's when I'm feeling like I would like somebody else to just to wash my hair for me. That's all I go there for. I go there for them to just wash it because I just don't feel like jumping in the shower to do it myself. I just want someone else's hand in my hair and for them to give me a nice massage. I want to treat myself. It's like a treat, an extra bit of self-care, but I'm giving it or handing it over to someone else to be responsible for that. So yes, I do. Um, have I had to separate my locks? Yes, I had. I had to separate a very big one. So let me take this off for you so you can, you know, see my locks because that's what it's all about, right? Ooh, feels good, feels good, feels good. Oh, feels good, feels so good, feels so good. So they're growing. Yep, they are growing. They're growing. They're growing. They're growing. um, yeah, I will do a separate short, a very fun separate short after this one, but not today. And yeah, look out for it. It's going to be a fun one, and hopefully you all will be able to join in. So yeah, in terms of the question of me having to cut any of my locks at some point. Yes, I had a massive Congo here. Bearing in mind, this is my second set of Freeform locks, and they pretty much mirror each other. Although my first lock, my first set, I didn't have them as long as I have these ones, but I can remember them vividly, and I still have photographs and videos of the first set. And one of the things that I remember was this huge Congo on this side. It was always on this side of the head. And so this time around, I could see that it was huge. If you go on my channel and look further down, you will see where it was just sticking up and it was getting in the way. So, yeah, it was getting in the way. I went to the salon. I went to see a lady in the salon and she helped me separate them. And so some of these locks that you're seeing here, these ones, I think I got 4 or 6 locks out of that big one. And that lock was getting in the way because it was just thick. I mean, it was about this thick. It was huge. It was about this thick. Okay. I also want to go back to the point about separating my logs. I don't think I finished it. I think I got distracted. Do I separate my logs? Yes, I do separate my logs on a very rare occasion where I have a lock joining, and it's usually at the back. It's always something at the back. It will join, and then I'll have little strands of hair like creeping in such awkward position, and it hurts. It's pulling on my scalp. So when I feel that tugging somewhere on my hair, I really just have to go in and just separate it, right? It's not much separating because all I'm separating is I'm separating a few strands of hair. Yeah, it's nothing drastic. So I do that. I also separate even the rest of my locks in the shower. I don't know if it's just a habit. I do it, but it's a waste of time. I promise you, it's a waste of time. I've noticed I've done it a few times when I've finished washing my hair in the shower and my hair is wet. And we all obviously know, if you're a freeform lock wearer, that the best time to separate your locks properly is to do it when your hair is wet. And best time to do it is after you shampooed your hair. And I've done it a few times, and I tell you, it's a waste of time because you can't even tell that I've separated them because before the next wash, they've married up. So I just don't bother myself. I just shampoo it and I just leave it, and I just keep it moving. I'm not even sure why I was doing that because it doesn't do anything. It really doesn't do anything. If you're free from locking, I mean, I think I've done a video on this. What's the point in doing some extra separating? If you're semi-free forming, like, okay, you want to keep things really, really, really apart, but if you're not, then what's the point in separating them only for them to join up again after a few weeks? And the locks that want to join up, they will always join up. No matter how many times you separate them after you've washed your hair, they will join up. They will join up. Even the tiny ones that irritate me at the back, it's usually this one, something's growing, and then, for some reason, or if I've had my locks up in a ponytail for a while, if it's sitting there, like some of the strands start to marry with this, and by the time I let it loose, you've got a bit of strand here getting in the way. So that is the one that I really concentrate on. And as I said, it's a few strands that I must separate them because I don't like that feeling of discomfort. There's no reason for me to be uncomfortable just because I want to freeform lock my hair. There's no reason for it, or because I want to claim that I'm not a semi-freeformer, or I'm a freeformer, full-time, not full-time, organic. All that stuff is just stressful. Like, just be yourself. Just do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. So let me wrap up this live broadcast by saying, do feel free to subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel to grow. It helps me to know that I'm giving you content that you actually do enjoy. Thank you all so very much for all your engagement on my shorts. I do enjoy and prefer doing the shorts because they're short, sweet, and straight to the point, right? Yeah, sometimes I'm in an environment where doing a live broadcast is just not the best thing because the connection isn't great. And then obviously if I did a video, I have to sit down and do some editing. So if I'm going to do a video, I would definitely not do a video for more than 5-10 minutes. So I find that the shorts do very well. You enjoy it. And if there's anything you would like to see me talk about in a video or in a live broadcast or in a short, let me know in the comment section. So once again, my name is Deborah. You're on my channel called Nonconformist Eyewear. And the reason why it's Nonconformist Eyewear is I do most things in my life in my own way. I don't conform to any standard, except there are standards that are legally binding, that require me to abide by the rules and the laws of the land. Other than that, I just live on my own terms. That includes my hair, my lifestyle, and just my version of slow living. I share those things the way I like to live slowly, and everyone has their own interpretation of what slow living means. Everyone has their own lifestyle, but maybe my lifestyle and the way I live slowly and my type of looks, maybe it appeals to you, or perhaps it is something that inspires you to do your own, or to do something similar, or to get started on your own journey, or a journey that is not even relating to slow living or lifestyle, or how you wear your hair. It might be something completely different. So thank you also very much for all of your support with my content that I create on here. And yeah, please do feel free to subscribe for more and comment as well. Feel free to comment. I really look forward to your comments. I'm excited when I see comments, and I do apologize in advance. There are times where YouTube for some reason doesn't flag up the comments for me to be able to see it. I have missed comments for weeks, sometimes even months. And in those same videos, I've seen other people's comments. And even the comments I've missed are older ones that were there before the newer comments that I've seen. And I don't know how that works. So anyway, I do apologize in advance. If you've left me a comment and I've not responded, yeah, Hopefully I get to it and I see it. Okay. All right then. Until next time, I wish you a great day. Let me pull this down actually finally. Let's pull it all down. See what happens when you pull it up and it kind of just stays up. But look out for that very fun short I will be doing. Perhaps in a few days I'll do it. Yeah. So here we are. And I'm guessing you can see the sun-kissed part of it. This ombre look here. I can see it just in reflection. It kind of stops somewhere here, right? And the rest of it is darker. And that's all natural. Can you believe that? It is all natural. All of this is all sun-kissed and all of that. The rest of it is just, I guess, the natural color of my hair. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.